Nice. We've got Artstream. All right, how do we do this? Okay, so I guess I'll get started. So today I want to draw another character for this sort of a fantasy comic idea I had, which was the warlock, the demon summoner person who regularly makes contracts with fiendish entities in order to get what they want. Other than that, I really don't have much fixed in place about the character design. Let's start with a silhouette, I guess. Okay, so we'll just do a simple black silhouette for now. One thing I was thinking of with this design was like, oh, that is not a straight line, is it? Is that better? Yeah. I guess is that everything comes at a cost. There's an anime this season which I haven't watched, but I've heard a bit about the premise about like this guy who he promised his child's body parts to demons, and so now the kid grew up and is going around trying to get his body parts back from all the demons and stuff. I haven't watched it, but that seems like a pretty cool idea. So, you know, I was just thinking along those lines of maybe, you know, trades flesh for power. Or maybe even not only flesh, maybe memories and things like that. So maybe this person is doomed as they become more powerful. They also just become less human. They lose parts of themselves. But again, I'm worried that if a character is defined by absence, does that just make them a blank character, like not interesting? So I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. It's a remake of an anime created by the person who made Astro Boy. I don't remember the name. I just read about it a while ago. what do I want to do here? There was a thing I came up with in a previous character design that I may want to just throw out, which was a character who like had detached hands, sort of like Rayman, like no arms, but like just sort of floating gloves like that, and then like electricity or something connecting them to the body. That's interesting, I think, but maybe not what I want in this case. In any case, I think weird is good, especially for a magic user character and one who gets their power from otherworldly places. So what says weird? Heck, maybe like modern day stuff says weird. Like they dress almost like a 21st century person instead of a traditional fantasy person. Ugh. Why is selecting things not working correctly? There we go. I don't think it would imply they're a time traveler. I think maybe the gifts the otherworldly powers give them are just sort of not of his world, not of his time, you know. But again, I'm not set in my ways on any of this yet. This is a very new character. This is the first time I've ever tried to draw them. All I know is the name is going to be Valix, which was a name I came up with my random name generator I wrote. And they're a spellcaster who makes deals with otherworldly creatures or forces to get power. Well, let's see. Pointed shoulders are good. I don't like drawing front-on character portraits like this just because it's so obvious if I can't draw them symmetrically. Let's do some big, long gloves. Why not? So at this point, I've decided I'm not going to worry too much about what the outfit should mean yet. I'm just going to try to draw something that has an interesting silhouette. long boots and long gloves because that's fun. I think maybe prosthetic limbs would be the best way to show every power comes at a price. So we'll just remake a note to make, let's say we'll have the left hand be a prosthetic thing. It's actually, a prosthetic hand is a thing that I've incorporated into a few different character designs lately, and I wasn't really satisfied with how it looked on any of them, so I'm not sure. And once we get to actual character outside the silhouette, we can do more details, like maybe a false eye or one that's a weird, unusual color. Alright, let's get a distinctive head shape out of this guy, too. I guess we could match the shape of the shoulders and have the hair sweep up into 2 points like that, too. It sort of mimics devil horns a bit and sort of suggests mad scientist. Don't know how I feel about any of this yet. One thing that occurs to me, how can you even tell it's a prosthetic hand if they're wearing big long gloves? So we'll turn these into like sort of detached sleeves but leave the hands visible. Now, let's sort of detail this in a bit by drawing over the white. And pointed ears. Why not pointed ears? So everything about the character sort of can create sort of an upward, double-pointed feeling. So we'll do that with these long boots too. We'll have them sweep up towards the sides like that. Well, that's something. It's definitely not what I had in mind going into it, but it's still an interesting-ish design. And then we can do like pointed toes on the shoes too. Yeah, that's okay. Let's throw some color on this, see how it looks in color, and then if we like that, we can go to a more detailed version. Yeah, let's do a skin tone like that. Let me make a new layer for these changes. There we go. They'll probably want an undershirt too. Yeah, let's do an undershirt. In what color? I guess we gotta think about a color scheme here. Let's do purples. Purples, and then we can do orange accents on it somehow. So let's do a dark purple, kind of unsaturated for this undershirt. Which will also poke out here. And then under the... Or you know what? I changed my mind. I didn't want an undershirt because I wanted those to be just detached sleeves. So... that, and then we'll do sort of a purple like that for the vest. And hair, so for the legs we'll do a deeper purple like that for the pants part. Lately I've been liking my characters to just sort of be mostly monochromatic, I guess. And then a lighter purple for the boots again. Like how with my TLR characters, like Sabis is mostly green, Lana's mostly red, and Mesatrix is mostly blue but with some orange highlights. let's see, that prosthetic I want to be gold, I think. And we'll do buttons on the vest gold too. Like that. Is gold what we want? Yeah, I guess so. Purple and gold's a good sort of money color. Now hair, actually I think just black with white streaks in it looks pretty good. Okay, so that's an interesting start, I guess. So let's put this layer over to the side. Let me group these, or let me just merge them, make a new one from visible. Move that over to the side. And we'll start on new one, and let's see. How many heads tall did we make? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 6.5 heads. Those aren't very accurate heads, but all right, 6.5 heads over here. That's where our character is going to live. And we'll try a more dynamic pose, I guess. Something like... something like that. And this is feeling like a little like a JoJo pose, which is fine with me. Too long if the elbow's like that. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting pose, at least. I always feel like I make the thighs too long when I first go through this stuff. Something like that, I guess. Not loving it, but it'll do. And where are we? Okay. God, I didn't even think about how this vest would look in 3 dimensions. This is where my inexperience really shows. And I almost forgot about the hand. We'll just do 3 fingers like that on that one. Okay. This was rough. Very rough. Gosh. Okay. So let me center this drawing. So that's not what I want to move. There we go. Turn that down a bit. And get some better line art going. Start with black this time so I don't have to tint it later. It is an awkward pose, I know. I don't know. I'm so tired of drawing everyone just basically sort of standing upright. This is a little different from that, but it's still not much different. And I don't really, the thing is, this is a new character I'm creating from scratch. This is the first time I've ever even really visualized them. So, I don't know, it's maybe I'll come up with better poses at some point, but... Alright, face. Didn't even think about the face. Like I said, maybe a prosthetic eye too. So we'll do one normal eye on this side here. And this one will be a prosthetic with perhaps a scar coming out to just emphasize that. Nothing particularly exciting about that face. Well, alright, let's color this in again just to wrap it, because I'm getting a little tired of working on this one. So another tannish skin tone. With that on top here. I've been watching JoJo, and the character designs and the fashion and all that, and that's just so fascinating. Like, I wouldn't be caught dead wearing something like that, but it's amazing the kind of stuff Araki can dream up. Like, there's a reason, I think either the first or the only mangaka ever featured in the Louvre Museum. And Araki's work is all full of these strange outfits, characters who are, beautiful in strange ways, like not following the conventional design guidelines you see for other kinds of anime at all. Oh, I missed a line back there. Well, JoJo isn't in the Louvre, but other stuff by the artist is. I think. I'll use the same one for the boots. Thinking I might just wind up throwing prosthetic hands on a bunch of different character designs until I find one that it looks right on. Because it's something I want to kind of explore. So we're going to have to zoom way in for that. And small brush. Nope, not 51. I don't know how 51 got to be the default brush size. What color is this prosthetic? Maybe vivid yellow. Golden yellow. Okay. Turn off that one, and that one. And a little bit of shading. Now, let's see if the primary color on this thing is purple. I like to pick a shading color by just flipping 180 on the wheel there and going kind of darker. And then setting the layer to 50% opacity multiply, roughly 50. And just going to town. And do the same with an addition layer, low opacity for highlights. And so back to that color, much brighter like that. Or actually, we don't want it too bright because addition's going to make it brighter no matter what we do. So we don't want the amount it's adding to be too significant. I don't like how that addition looks on the pants. Let's turn the opacity way down. Well, I'm not hugely excited about this, but you know, it's something. It's something I can think about and improve upon, especially the legs down here, that where the pants meet the boots. That looks pretty bad. But I'm gonna call it there for now because when I'm doing art on stream, I feel like I kind of have to rush to keep it interesting. So yeah, let's wrap it there.